No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Because I'm now telling you you're on private property and that you're trespassing, and I would like you to move back to the pavement.
Trespassing is a civil matter.
Okay, not in a police station. It's not.
Matter.
There's a specific offence causing a disturbance on police premises.
Sir? Can you tell me what that law is?
I can tell you the legislation if you like.
Please do, sir. Please do.
But it is an offence.
No, please do.
And I'd like you to move back to the pavement. That's all.
Well, once you don't tell me that, sir, then it's fine.
Original footage credit goes to Plod or not to Plod. Please subscribe to their channel. What you're about to watch starts with a man doing something completely legal, filming outside a police station in broad daylight. No threats, no weapons, just a camera. And within seconds, officers are in his face, refusing to identify themselves, physically blocking his lens, and citing laws they can't even name. But here's where it gets really interesting. This same station has 2 officers currently suspended for assault and battery. And the behavior we're about to witness? It shows you exactly why that reputation exists. Stay with us, because this one goes from confrontation to something genuinely unexpected by the end.
Well, who are you first?
I don't need to tell you that right now.
Well, I don't need to tell you anything.
Right, okay.
Well, first of all, who are you, please?
I'm a police officer.
Okay.
Okay. To be left, not see our code to the gate.
He's not meant to be filming your own cars, no.
Okay. So if you could just step away while we just put the
Well,
codes
no, I'm
into
on
the
public
gate, that would be
property.
great.
Well, it's down to you to cover it up, not me.
Okay, that's
down to you to cover it up.
I'll stand here while you guys go in then. I'm not letting you see the code to my gate, to the gate, alright?
Well, it's down to you to cover it up.
Alright, fine.
Don't put your hand in my face.
Okay.
And as I said, as a police officer, as I said, you should be identifying yourself, which you failed to do so.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. I've asked you to identify yourself, and yet you still haven't.
Okay, I'm a police
Thank
officer.
you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to go
Thank you
into
very
my
much.
work.
That's fine. Go
Okay.
into your work.
Right.
Okay. And as I said, you failed to identify yourself, madam.
I failed to do anything.
Yes, you did. I asked you to identify yourself, and you failed to do so. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hello, yeah, you're alright.
Not bad, sir.
You're allowed to stand
Would you
in public.
mind, would you mind just identifying yourself?
No, I don't have to.
Okay, you don't have to. Well, it's in your code of practice, sir, and you should be identifying yourself. I don't have to listen to anything, sir.
You're on
and your
public
number
property, that's
2456.
But you can't be recording the code.
Well, it's down to you to cover it up. It's down to you to cover it up. I can film whatever I wish in public. Okay?
Here's the legal reality that these officers are missing, and it's important. If a keypad code is visible from a public position, the responsibility to shield that code falls entirely on the person entering it, not on a member of the public standing lawfully on a public footpath. This is a basic principle of operational security. If your gate code is visible from the street, the answer is to physically shield it, install a privacy cover, or redesign the access point. Telling a lawful bystander to stop looking is not a legal instruction. It has no enforcement power whatsoever. The auditor is absolutely correct when he says, repeatedly, it's down to you to cover it up. That's not attitude. That's the law.
Yeah, so if we get details, I'll pass up to CT desk.
It's down to you to actually cover it up, sir, not me. Okay, I'm standing on public ground and I'm doing a completely lawful activity.
I never said you weren't.
And you actually failed to identify yourself.
I don't have to identify myself.
Yes, you do. It's in your code of practice, sir. It's in your code of practice and you failed to do so.
Officer agrees my filming officers at the front gate, sir.
I'm doing illegal activity, sir.
Wait, you're trying to film officers putting
No, I'm not.
codes
They're
in,
going
sir.
in. It's down to you to cover it up, not me, sir.
Yeah, we've got a late, so
Okay. And officer SN2129.
What's your details, sir?
It doesn't matter what my details are.
What's your details, sir?
Okay, SN21.
What is your details, sir?
Why would you require my details
At the
for?
moment, it's suspicious activity outside the police station,
Really?
so yeah.
What, a perfectly lawful activity?
Well, and what is that activity, sir?
Photography in public is perfectly lawful, sir.
So why are you filming officers putting their codes into
Well, no,
the
it's
gate?
down to you to cover it up. I'm here filming everything that I can see, sir.
You're just trying to be awkward, aren't you?
Why? We're asking
You're
why,
quite
sir.
arrogant, really,
I'm
aren't
not,
you, sir?
I'm not,
Yes,
sir.
you are. So you're coming up and you're disturbing me, okay, for doing a completely lawful activity.
You're disturbing us.
No, as you said when you were standing there, okay, I should have been left alone, and that was exactly what you guys decided to say when you were
filming the codes of our officers coming in.
Your officer made a point of pointing out the code, and as I said to her, okay, it is down to her to cover it up herself.
It's not.
Yes, it is, sir.
You shouldn't be filming it.
It is, sir.
It's not. It's not.
Yes,
you
it is, sir.
You don't know the law, sir, because you
do
should
I not?
Be,
do
you
I
should
not?
Be
Well, you
it.
fail to identify
I don't
yourself.
have to.
Yes, you do, sir.
I don't.
Yes, you do, and you're an embarrassment.
It's got shoulder numbers
Okay.
and a name badge on it.
Yeah,
You
but
can
not
read,
everybody
sir.
can, sir.
Also,
okay, it's
if
in
you
your
see
code of
on there-
practice to actually identify with three forms of
You don't tell me
identification.
I'm doing my job, sir.
Okay,
Also, it
well,
says a sign on
well,
there.
I need to when you don't even know your own job, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
You just doing this to get likes on YouTube? I
I don't need any lights for anything.
See you later.
Okay.
You got a YouTube channel?
It makes no difference.
Yeah, he
No,
does.
I'm asking, like, do you do it across the Met? Do you do it across the country? What is it? Do you do different?
I do a lot of photography in public.
This is a really significant moment, and it almost slips by. The officer had his body camera running and didn't announce it. Under police guidelines, officers are supposed to inform the public that body camera recording has been activated at the first practical opportunity. The auditor catches this and calls it out directly. To the officer's credit, he eventually confirms it was on and acknowledges the correct procedure. But watch the officer standing behind him, still shaking his head, still resistant, still wrong. This is the internal inconsistency that erodes public trust. One officer gets it right after being challenged. Another one stands behind him, refusing to accept the same standard applies to him. Same station, same shift, two entirely different standards.
And most of all as well, sir, okay, you turned your body camera on, and you should actually have informed me at the first possible,
First possible point, but I'm asking
yep,
you first.
okay, and 1101, okay, so failed once again.
Because you're allowed to lawfully film, okay?
I know I am, so I should have just been left alone.
You're filming other people's codes, but we'll leave you to it.
Well, no, if you can't cover them up, then that is your problem, sir, not mine. That is your problem.
That's the risk to security, isn't it?
Well, then cover the number up, sir.
You don't have to, though. It's a
Okay.
police station.
Am I standing on public ground, sir? Am I standing on public ground? So you won't answer the question because you know I'm perfectly right, sir. Okay? You know I'm perfectly right, and you're the one that's in the wrong, sir. If you can't cover up the code, then it's your problem. It is not mine, sir. So, and you can see there. So that was the officer there that asked me, that turned his body camera on. Didn't want to say that he had turned it on, but it was on.
But he's allowed to film.
I know he is, but he should have actually have informed me. And yes, he does. That is part of your code of practice. See, that tells you where you are far wrong.
Sir, listen,
Okay.
when it's proportionate to tell you, okay, when I have
Okay.
the best opportunity, sir. I don't
Correct.
just activate it.
Correct, and which you did when I pointed it out. You did actually say it.
Yeah.
Yep, and then you did actually point it out, and that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and this officer, okay, behind you,
Yeah.
said that you don't. Okay, it's in your code of practice that you do at the first possible opportunity, and that is exactly what you just done. Now you just confirmed that, and he's standing behind you, still shaking his
At the end
head,
of the day.
and that's why there's a problem.
Okay, at the end of the day, the matter's squashed, okay?
Okay,
I've
yep.
told you it was on
Okay.
when the most reason and the most proportionate
Yeah,
time.
yeah, which is perfectly fine. Which is perfectly fine.
All we're asking, essentially, is just obviously whether you're not, whether you are filming officers, just because there's obviously safety around the building, safety around other officers, and obviously that's sort of national, that's a threat to the building, a threat to other officers. All right, so all we're asking, you can film, you're allowed to film, you have the right to film in public.
Yep.
Obviously, just don't film officers' codes, whether you are or not. Obviously, don't know, but from the angle you're standing and obviously raising the camera, how it looks to us.
Well, I raised it purely because he tried to actually block me when I didn't need
Fine,
to be
Because you
blocked.
told me that officers
Okay.
should block their codes.
And
So I
that
did.
is what they should be doing.
so I did.
Okay? That is exactly what they should be doing.
And here finally is the moment the whole encounter changes. PC Evans arrives, identifies himself immediately, clearly and professionally. Name, number, station, done. No drama. No resistance. Just compliance with a basic professional standard that every officer before him failed to meet. And watch what happens to the energy of the interaction the moment he does that. The auditor's tone shifts. The conversation opens up. This is not a coincidence. Respect is reciprocal. When officers treat members of the public as adults deserving of basic courtesy, the encounter transforms. PC Evans is about to give us a masterclass in what good community policing actually looks like, and it starts with 2 words: and a collar number.
Hello, sir. I'm sure you've spoken to a few of my colleagues already.
Well, first of all, could you identify yourself for
I'm
me,
PC
please?
Evans, 2168
Thank you
Sierra
very much,
November.
sir.
I'm based here.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are currently on private property. There's no issue with you filming, but can you go back to the pavement
I'm
and do
on
it from there,
public
please?
property.
No, this is private
This
property.
is public
so
property.
up to the line with the pavement, this is
Okay.
property of the
Can you show me
Metropolitan
where the
Police.
signs are then, please, sir? If there's no signs, it's public property, it's all part of the pavement. Okay,
This is
right the
part
way,
of the pavement,
right
this
the
is
way
the
up
police
until that gate is fully publicly accessible
No,
under Section
I'm afraid-
33 of the Criminal Justice
I'm
Act of
afraid
1972. Okay, I'm allowed to lawfully go. Okay, where it's publicly accessible.
Okay, so if,
there are
if
no
my,
signs
if my
saying
front
private
garden
property.
was publicly accessible,
No,
would you be in my front garden?
A private garden is
Yeah.
completely different to public property.
But you said a place at which public have
Okay.
the access to.
They
so,
don't have
So I have
a
access to
garden.
all those people's front gardens, but
Do
I
the
don't go
public
there
pay
'cause
for your
it's-
garden? Do the public pay for your garden?
No, of course they don't.
Do they pay for this building? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you have right to access to it.
Under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act
Right.
of 1972, okay,
What I'm
I have
saying
the
to you-
right to actually be where it's publicly accessible. There
Yep.
are no signs there, okay, saying private property.
Okay, but I'm now informing
and that's
you-
what makes it perfectly lawful
I'm
for
now
me to be
informing
here.
you that this is all the way up to where the change in the tarmac is private
Okay.
property. It's property of the
Right.
Metropolitan Police
Do you want to
Service.
walk over there and show me the signs?
There are no signs.
Well,
but
then I'm
now
perfectly in
telling
my
you-
lawful right then, sir.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Because I'm now telling you you're on private property and that you're trespassing, and I would like you to move back to
Trespass
the
is a
pavement.
civil matter.
Okay, not in a police
Trespass is
station.
a
It's
civil
not. There's a
matter.
specific offence causing a disturbance
What's
on
that
police
then, sir?
premises.
Can you tell me what that law
I
is?
can tell you the legislation if
Please
you like.
do, sir. Please do.
But it is an offence.
This is one of the most telling exchanges in the entire video. PC Evans claims there is a specific offense of causing a disturbance on police premises, then cites Section 119 of the Criminal Justice and Immigration Act 2008. But here's the problem. When the auditor asks him to recite that law and explain it, Evans admits he doesn't know it off the top of his head and tells the auditor to Google it himself. You cannot cite a law as grounds for demanding someone moves and then admit you don't know what that law actually says. That is not how lawful policing works. And the auditors counter that the disturbance was caused by the officers responding to a lawful activity. Not by the activity itself is logically and legally difficult to argue against. A brilliant point made calmly and precisely.
No, please do.
And I'd like you to move back to the
No,
pavement.
no.
That's all.
Well, once you
can
don't tell me
continue to
that,
film.
once you don't tell me that, sir, then it's fine.
Yeah, of course, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Once you tell me that,
you,
then
sir. Nice to
no
meet you.
worries. Take care. Okay. Once you don't tell me that, I have no problem in doing that, sir.
Okay.
If you can actually tell me what that law
Bear
is,
with me 2 seconds.
then I'm perfectly
Unfortunately,
happy.
we don't know everything off the top of our head, but
Well, then that's also then a problem. When you actually quote a law, you should actually know that law on which you're
so
quoting.
it's Section 119 of the Criminal Justice and Immigration Act 2008,
Which is what?
causing a disturbance in
Could
a
you-
police premises.
Could you show me that, please, sir?
Well, you can Google it yourself.
No,
on your
no,
phone.
could
I've
you
just
show me
told
that
you.
then, sir?
Well, I don't need to show you.
Well,
I've just told
causing
you.
a disturbance. What disturbance is that?
So you're trying to film officers putting their coat into the gate. Obviously, that's caused a bit of a disturbance because of the fact that half a dozen police officers are out here having to talk to you, aren't they?
Well, they even said on the other side of the gate that I should have been left alone.
Who said that?
Okay, those actual officers in uniform walking that way. I have it on
Okay.
film.
Okay, well, they've requested us to
Okay.
come here and assist them because
Right.
obviously we've got protective equipment on and they don't. So I don't know why they would say that you're not doing anything wrong but then ask officers to come and help them.
Because number one, they were trying to stop me doing a completely lawful activity, sir.
Okay.
All right, and I only came down here for one reason.
Yeah.
Okay. At this moment in time, you've got 2 officers on suspension.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, for assault and battery.
Right, okay.
Okay, and I just wanted to actually see whether or not, okay, anyone actually had a view or an opinion on whether or not they.
Well, you
believe
know
that
you're not
is
going to
right.
get a view or opinion from
Well,
us, are you?
well, you never
'Cause
know.
we will always direct you to the press office. Oh,
Well-
you've lost your driver's license.
And that's all what it is.
Yeah.
And all what I come down to do, okay, is literally there is a divide between the public and the police. At
Yeah,
this moment
I get
in time,
that.
and it shouldn't be there.
No, I
okay?
agree.
All interactions like this isn't about showing bad things, but it's
Yeah.
about showing good officers and what they do. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
often, more often than not, it's good officers.
Yeah.
Okay, they get overlooked because of something bad that a bad officer does.
And
it's a really, really sad thing.
I would
It's a
tend
really
to agree
sad-
with you with that. It's not just police officers, it's every job. In every job, there will always be one person or a small group of people who do something that other people don't agree with, and then everybody gets dragged through the mud.
Yep.
Um,
Are you aware of an actual memo that went round from the IOPC? See.
The conversation then shifts to a comparison between traditional neighborhood policing and modern policing practices. PC Evans openly acknowledges that the police face ongoing challenges in building strong relationships with the community. This sincere and respectful discussion highlights how calm, open communication can help strengthen trust and reduce the gap between the police and the public, something that was clearly absent during the initial confrontation.
In relation to what? They send out memos?
To do with people like myself.
No, so there was some communications with people like yourself. I can't remember the exact term you use. You're a freedom something?
No, I'm not a freedom anything.
No, what do you class yourself as?
I will actually give you the actual memo. Now, this is from the IOPCC, and this is what went out to every single police station. Yeah, please do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Auditor, that was what I was thinking of.
So you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that is exactly what it is. But also as well, even when you then even look under the actual Terrorism Act, there's a whole section in there that a lot of people then actually skip over.
Yeah.
Right, and people then are abused under Section 43, okay, and 47A.
Yeah.
Right. And it takes a senior officer to actually bring in 47A. You can't just actually impose it.
Yeah. So 43 can be used by any officer, but 47A has to be.
But then don't forget Section 43, okay, has to be used with reasonable suspicion. And there is a whole section in 43 that says about photography.
Yeah.
Right? And that is often looked over, and it clearly states that people have the right to actually film the police and police buildings, and they should be left alone to do so.
To a certain extent, yes. So I'm not accusing you of being a terrorist. I've not detained you under the Terrorism Act because, as I say, I'm aware of auditors and bloggers, and I'm aware of what it is that you do and what it is that you're trying to achieve. My point is that until I stop and engage with you, I don't know who you are or what your intentions are. So I've stopped and engaged with you, I've spoken to you, it's become quite clear what your intentions are, and so there's no issue. So now we're having a conversation like human beings. But I can't tell that from all the way over there or from in my car down the road, can I? So without stopping and engaging with you, some officers might assume, because here's the common question we get asked it all the time: what does a terrorist look like? They could look like anything.
Correct.
Exactly, they could look like anything.
Yep.
So until we actually stop and speak to you and find out what it is that you're here for, we don't know whether you filming people's license plates and the code box to the gate is purely coincidental because you just happen to be filming the whole of the backdrop of the police station, or whether it's because you're trying to find out personal information about officers because you're conducting hostile reconnaissance.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but first of all, regarding the code, it's down to each and every individual, to shield their own code, If they were that convinced, it's like where you actually take that code reader just there, they should have put a cover over it, so people can't see.
I think there was a cover over it a long time ago.
But then that is your fault, it's not down to me. And then when you actually talk about license plates, the DVLA actually own the rights to those.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'm doing, is, as you can see, there's only police cars in there, and that's what I was filming. And exactly what you done. Now, the big issue was, is when you look at yourself, as soon as you actually came out, you walked around the back of me, you walked in front of me, you said whatever you did to that other officer, and then you walked towards me, and the first thing you done, when I asked you, is I asked you to identify yourself, which you done perfectly, and was absolutely bang on, and there was no faults within that whatsoever. When you look at two of those other officers that came out, one of them came up, put their hand straight in my face, I asked two of them, two females that were going in to identify. They failed to do so at first. Then one identified. And then two that were in uniform, I asked to identify, and they failed and said that it's not in their code of practice, which it well and truly is in your code of practice, to actually identify. Now, exactly what you've done, as I said, I can't fault you whatsoever. And as I said, the questions that I wanted to ask is exactly what you've just answered, and it's been good to actually engage, and it's been good to talk.
I think it's been quite positive. But I can't account for other officers' actions. The only caveat I would say is, again, going back to that whole hostile reconnaissance in Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, there's a clause in there that we don't have to identify ourselves by name to people that we suspect to be involved in terrorism. And again, not saying you are one of those people, but until we engage with you and find out what it is your intentions are, they don't have to identify themselves by name. But obviously our shoulder numbers are always clearly visible.
But then if you just clearly walk straight up to me, and don't try and engage, and actually identify yourself, and you come straight up to me, and you say under Section 43, then that's not trying to talk to me, that's somebody that's already preempted what they're going to do even before they get to me, So when you then look at that, that one then falls on its arse, so to speak. That's the whole point. If you actually want to engage, exactly what we done. Now, as soon as you came over to me, it stayed at this tone, we've had a nice conversation, and this is how it should be. And that's how it would have been with those other officers, Okay, and this is where it all comes down to how somebody meets members of the public. It's like the first thing that you done, okay, not or anything like that. As soon as you walked towards me, you went, "Afternoon, sir."
Yeah.
Okay, which is the correct way of approaching somebody. And as
Yeah.
you've seen, that's how I speak to you. I've called you sir.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the way that I was always brought up. Okay, was to
Yeah.
actually respect something. And this is how it should be.
So yeah, that's it really.
No, that's cool.
Cool.
That's cool. That's perfectly fine. Can I say thank you very much for your
No
time?
worries, thank you for
Okay.
your-
Let's bring everything together. What we witnessed at Cuddon Police Station today was a tale of two completely different policing approaches playing out in the same encounter. First, multiple officers who refused to identify themselves, put hands in a citizen's face, cited laws they couldn't explain, and deployed 7 personnel against 1 person with a camera on a public footpath. Then, PC Evans, who identified himself immediately, engaged with respect, acknowledged the limits of the law, and turned a confrontation into a genuine conversation about community trust. The legal takeaways are clear. Officers must identify themselves when asked. Publicly accessible areas without signage cannot simply be declared private property on the spot. But the bigger takeaway is this. The way PC Evans handled the second half of this encounter proves that none of the aggression at the start was necessary. It was a choice, and some officers made the wrong one. The auditor has already flagged 2 suspended colleagues and a pattern of behavior that this video only reinforces. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button, share this with someone who needs to understand their rights, and subscribe so you don't miss the follow-up on how this station responds to the accountability pressure.